Hello guys, welcome to another interesting session of JavaScript. In this session we are going to discuss about what is arrow function, what are the different ways of defining arrow function, how this keyword behaves in arrow function compared to normal function, and other differences between the arrow function and normal function. Let's say you have a normal function sum which accepts two parameters a comma b and returns the sum of them. So this is the simple way to define the function. So now let us define the same thing as arrow function. So constant sum1. I am using sum1 because we are already having the function name sum. And here you take two parameters and you return a plus b. Right? So it should accept a comma b. So when you have the more than one parameter, you have to enclose them in the parentheses. Arrow function implicitly returns the value. You don't need to mention the return keyword. Arrow functions were introduced in ES6 and they provide simpler syntax to define the function. So let us print the value console.log. You can see the result 8 here. Now let us define the arrow function with a single parameter. So when you have the single parameter, let's say double, and it takes the single parameter, let's say x multiply x. So when you have the single parameter, you don't require to use the parentheses. You can simply define like this. You can see the result 81. When the function is not accepting any parameters, in that case you must use the parentheses. Let's say like this, say hello. So when the function having more than one statement, then you must keep the statements inside the curly brackets. So like this, constant, let's say calculate salary. In this case, let's see if you have more than one line. So I'm just writing for example, because this one you can write in simple line and return it. So when you have the more than one statement, you must enclose them inside the curly brackets and you have to explicitly return the value. These are the different ways of defining the arrow function. Now let us see how this behaves in arrow functions compared to the normal functions. So let's say you have the object constructor person function and I just define some properties. Let's add one method greet. So when you add the function to the object, it is called as a method. This dot greet and define function, and here just return hello this dot name. So this is EX6 way of defining the string. So now let us call this greet function. To do that, we need to create the object of the person. So constant p equal to new person p dot greet. So just print this one again. You can see hello Krish, right? So there is nothing special here. Now let us add the nested function inside the greet method. So I'm going to define function get age and it returns return age is this dot age. Now let us call and print the value of get age. So I'm going to use console.log. Now just guess what will be the output. Save it. You can see age is undefined. So this is what you need to observe. So why it is saying age is undefined? Here you can see that we are calling this getAge function inside this greet method, and this getAge function will refer the global scope. So that's the reason you can see that the age is undefined. Let us print here console.log this, and you see what is the output. You can see the window. So this getAge is referring to the global scope, which is window, and that's the reason you can see this dot age is undefined. So this is the reason in many applications you see that programmers will be defined like this, constant underscore self equal to this. So to access the scope of this object, person object, the programmers will define like this, constant self is equal to this. And now if you use this self here instead of this keyword, you see that age is 40, right? but still this is, and here this is referring to the global object, which is window object, right? Window object. And that's why in many applications you see that this kind of declaration will be there. Even in many scenarios you will have the requirement like you want to show something after 2 seconds or 5 seconds after calling this greet method. So in that case normally we use set timeout, and in the set timeout if you have the normal function instead of the arrow function, for example let's say function, and here if you want to return the age, right? If you want to return the age, or if you want to just do something and print the value, or if you want to access the the person's scope, and if you mention this dot age, you get value undefined, right? And sorry, timeout I have to define, let's say 1 second. You can see that value undefined, right? Instead of that, if you use the underscore self, you get the value 40 after 1 second. I'm sure you might have come across this kind of usage, right? And now let us use the arrow function. So here I'm going to define the arrow function. So constant I'm going to use get age 1. Here I'm going to write the same thing, like maybe return age is this line, and let us call the get age 1. Now let us see the output here. So the age is 40, so this is coming from this function because here you use the self, and then you can see age is 40, and this is coming from this arrow function. Let's say I mention from arrow function, so it will be clear. You can see that from arrow function 40, so age is 40. So no need to use the self. If you use this also, we get the same output. So this way this object or keyword will behave inside the arrow function compared to the normal function. Arrow functions refers to the parent scope, whereas normal functions will refer to the scope from where they are called. Now let us see another difference, that using arrow function you can't create the constructor. So here we defined the person using the function syntax, normal function syntax, and let us define the same kind of object constructor using the arrow functions. Let's say constant car equal to, let's say this dot name something, and here let's try to create the object of the car. Constant c equal to new car, right? Let us see the result. You can see that car is not a constructor, so you can't create the constructor for the object that you created using the arrow functions. So now let us see the another difference, that using the arguments. So function collection, and if you are calling collection by passing some random numbers, so if you want to print it, normally we use the arguments, right? Console.log, and if you print it, just comment out this because it giving the error, so comment out. Now let us see the arguments, and you can see the values that you are passed, 2448049. Let us define the same thing using the arrow function. Constant collection, let's say 1 equal to, and let us call this collection 1 also, collection 1, and save it. You see the error, arguments is not defined. So arguments are not supported in the arrow functions directly. So what is the workaround? For that you can use the spread operator. And now let's see, now you can see the value. Let's say I pass something else. So we used to consume the promises like this and write the callback functions like this, right? For each callback function you need to write like that. But so using the arrow function introduced in ES6, you can write this simple and cleaner code. So just remove this, that's it. So this is about arrow functions. If you like my explanation, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. Please do follow my videos. Thank you for watching.